Des from Aro-Tarot here, and I don't know how many days I'm going to do, but I might finish off all the days depending on how long it ends up being for Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And this is purple because I'm turning my computer on right now, and it's just purple. And then the room itself is like darker than normal because my main light is dead, and Mom hasn't come in to replace it. And so it's just the other light that I really just use for videos. Although it originally came in here because the one time my light blew out, we didn't have any light bulbs, so we had to wait till, like, we went to the store to get some light bulbs, so then it was just this lamp, you know. I mean, that lamp, like, never gets used in the living room. Man, it's still so dark on my face. I'm gonna open up the Google, and that light of white can just be on my face since my computers are here and here. Actually, it's literally right there. So anyway, I left off in that really long one I filmed. I did, 17 through 26, because I was like, I'm just gonna do all of it while drawing. My whoopee cap's not on, no. I'm making it my thing that the whole challenge I wear my whoopee cap, so. I don't even know if anyone understands what this whoopee cap is from. But anyway, so that means I'm on day 27, and I haven't done 28, 29, 30, or 31. And that's 5 days, so some of them I don't really have much to say, so I might just do all of them. We'll see. Yeah, my computer's being slow with that. Light computer. Oh, it's alright, you're good. You can play my video games at least. So anyway, 27 is share your first professional reading experience, either as a reader or a seeker. And this one dealt back with day 12, which is what started you reading tarot. And I try not to talk too much about it. I don't have the best memory, so it's hard to remember, like, specifically everything that happened. But this was, when was it? Not last year. Maybe the year before. Maybe it was 2016. Oh, there's the light. Okay. Maybe it was 2016 towards the end of the year. Ooh, that's some light right there. Of when I got this reading. There's like a psychic fair that happens, I think, twice a year. I think it's twice a year. I think it's once in the beginning and once towards the fall, maybe? 2 or 3 times a year. Which actually it's about to happen in first week of February, I think. Which is why it's like, Des, don't buy anything else with your money right now. The psychic fair is coming up. And I'm like, oh boy. Crystals and decks. But, yeah, so I went to the psychic fair, and I decided that I was going to get a reading. And I was actually being very, like, kind of like, when I'm in public, I'm very much really quiet and just, you know, twiddling my fingers, you know, just, you know, like, don't talk to me, and kind of like, like that, you know, because social stuff, and I was, like, kind of feeling it a lot that day, but I just decided, and I kind of had Mom pick, she was like, no, you're supposed to pick the reader, and I'm like, him, because you said he's really good, and the one that I went to last time, which is the one you always go to, Pat, she wasn't there that day, so it's like, oh, I'll go to William then. I was like, okay, so, I went to get a reading by William, and it was my second reading ever, and it's just psychic readings, right? So, like, last time, did she look at my palm? She might have done no, I don't remember if Pat does palm stuff or not. Mostly it's like, I don't remember how exactly she does it. I think it's a bit of, like, medium stuff, because I think she said, I remember she mentioned that one of my relatives was watching after me, kind of thing. But anyway, back to William. William is kind of like that psychic dude that's got, like, everything going on. Like, I still do not know what the sticks meant when I got the reading, but yeah. So I go in, get to the table when it's time to go in, because it's like they got a bunch of tables, and they like call out, they'll be like 3 o'clock, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm 3 o'clock William or whatever, and then like they're like, he's that table over there, so you go over that table, and they're like, hi, it's that kind of thing. So I get over there, me being my awkwardy kind of self. He's very like, I don't know, like, so like that kind of, I was like, ooh, that kind of like opened me up a bit. But like, especially considering in the beginning, I had no idea what was happening. He was like, okay, I want you to pick 10 sticks, whatever color they are, and just just lay them out. And I did. I have no idea what the sticks meant. He never went and mentioned what the sticks meant. No idea what different colored sticks means. If you know what that means, you can tell me. I have no idea what it means. I picked like one green, and then the other 9 were purple and blue, because I like cool colors. Like, I don't want no red, I don't want no yellow, give me that blue and purple. So there was that. Then there was also these cards where he had me go through the 12 cards, and he's like, okay, pick out your zodiac sign and don't tell me. So then, and then then he like shuffled it back in, I think, and just put it to the side. And then, what else was there? There was tarot, and that's why this one gets to actually be on here, is because he did use tarot. I think he did one other activity-like thing, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. But then there was the tarot. And this is actually the first time someone's ever read tarot for me, so this is why it gets to be in this question. And I don't remember all the cards that came up. I do remember that the Lovers came up. And like with the Lovers there, I was like, I saw it and I'm like, oh boy. Because at that point I already knew I was Aro, which is funny because the previous year with Pat, she's like, is there any other questions you'd like to ask? And I'm like to know about the romance. And she's like, and I think you'd want to know about the romance. And that's like, the psychic knows your Aro before you do. I thought that was funny because it took me like a year, and then I was like, oh, it all makes sense of why I wouldn't have wanted a romance reading. It's like she knew. But the Lovers did came up, and I'm like, oh. And actually it was about partners, which is especially why I'm very much, the Lovers is not about romance, it's partnership and choice, I'm very much on that kind of mindset of it. And that was kind of like the start of it. Also, the Aro thing doesn't help, but the start of it, because it was talking about partners, and it was said, I think it was about like, maybe this reading was 2015. I think the reading might have been 2015, because I started playing Final Fantasy in 2016. But anyway, he was like, okay, so like in the next year, he was saying that I would like, or was that with Pat? No, it might have been with him. I think it might have been 2015. Maybe. I don't know. It's one of the two. Either it was Pat that said I was going to meet someone important the next year, or it was him. But I think it was him. Yeah, I think it was him. So it was a year previous. So it was like, you're going to meet, like, someone important, like, the next year. And with career stuff, it's going to work in a partnership kind of thing. And so I'm like, cool, so that's what the Lovers meant in that reading. It was actually about partnership. And he was kind of like asking me, like, he's like, it's like this. So he's like, so what career field are you going into? I get this feeling like about helping people, and I'm like, yeah, video games. And he's like, like, I think he literally pulled a face like that, like, like, he's like, here, I'm gonna do something with you. Okay, he took out the zodiac cards again. He took them out. He's like, okay, I'm gonna have you find your zodiac sign out of these cards. So he laid out 5 of them, and he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and help you out right here. So he pulled one away. He's like, okay, I want you to rub your hands together and get your dominant hand and your right hand. You're gonna go over the cards, and when your hand gets warm, tell me. So I'm going over them. And then I do it again. He's like, take your time. And I'm like, that one. He's like, okay, well, it's not that card, so we're going to pull it away. Okay, so now you're on to 3 cards. You got to find your zodiac sign. So do it again. Rub your hands together and just slowly go it over, you know. And I'm like, I think it actually was the middle card, you know. So I'm like, it's that right there. He's like, okay. He flips it over, and it was Libra. And then as soon as I did that, he's like, I thought you were an air sign. I just wasn't sure if you were an Aquarius or Libra. And it's like, to be honest, I can understand why you might confuse me with an Aquarius on first glance. I mean, like, what, my rising's Libra, but it's still an air sign as well, you know. Virgo's the moon. But yeah, so he's like, I wasn't sure, but you know. And he's like, you see, like you were the one that found it out. And I'm like, and he's like, that's because I think you were meant to do this. And I'm like, really? And he's like, this is how you should be helping people. Which I was thinking literally helping people with video games, because that's still what I want to do. I want to put, you know, my whole goal of when I get into video games is to, which I didn't explain all of it to him, is to put characters that don't have as much representation, mostly like sexualities and like, you know, romantic orientations like Aro. Especially Aro. I want Aro characters in freaking video games. You know, and put like characters like that in genders. To be honest, I was very much set on LGBT plus stuff, but I would like to have also work on characters that aren't all white. Get some protagonists that aren't all white. I actually have a video game idea, and are the protagonists white? No. And to be honest, I don't like. The idea was white because it was actually me, but then when I created them as characters, like, no. But yeah, so just also they're LGBT plus. So I just want to throw in that representation, just get it all in there, just spread that around so that people can see themselves in the video games. And I know Aro was one of those things that if I had actually seen more Aro representation, it would have really helped, you know. So I want to do that representation in there of stuff you don't always see, man. But anyway, I didn't explain all that, you know. And he was like, you should be doing this, you should be helping people, like, have you tried to get into this? And I'm like, well, actually, just like last month, me and my brother decided that we'd try to get into runes, you know, because my mom's got a book in a set, and he's like, nah, tarot is what you need to be getting into. And I'm like, really? I thought that the runes would be easier, you know, than 78 cards. And he's like, I started with runes, you know, and I still kind of use them, but like, what you need to start with is tarot. And I'm like, okay, I'll look into it, you know. And then eventually, while looking into it, I found the Justice League Tarot, and boom, that's how it all started. So like, that's basically this actually was a longer story than I thought it was going to be. I guess this is going to be a video on its own. I'll film the other ones after altogether. But yeah, so like, that is what started the whole tarot thing, which I mentioned the reading in what day was that again? Day 12, but I didn't want to actually like go too much into it, but that was like the whole story. But yeah, it was that reading, and also me then after the reading finding that deck that actually got me into tarot, and that was my first experience actually having someone read for me with tarot and not just, you know, psychicness. You know, because I had a reading like previous with Pat, and the whole you'll meet someone at the end of next year or whatever, you know, that's important, actually did come true, because I started playing Final Fantasy, and when did I join the guild? It was before Thanksgiving. I think I got the game back in what, like early October, maybe mid-October, something like that, sometime in October. So I think I joined the guild in like November. So like end of the next year, I actually ended up joining a guild and making some more friends, even though I don't really talk. Like, I haven't talked like all month because I'm just not that kind of person. You know, I'm a quiet person. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Then also, yeah, I'm gonna just do the last 4, especially because 29 might take a little bit. another video which I'll just film right after. And then I think we could schedule upload, so maybe I'll upload it and just schedule it another day. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to do though is I'm going to mention 2 of the other ones. Let's see, what was day 21, I had mentioned, you know, ooh, bags, like, this one I actually made, you know, like, bags, you know, and then, that my aunt wants to embroider them for me, and I want to learn how to embroider, but she's just so bored that she wants to do a bunch of them. And then, the Dragon Age Inquisition one, the bag I used for that, and that's all I said. Well, update on that is, my one deck keeps falling over. I got, like, stuff piled over here. Update on that would be that, I don't have any out right now, is that I talked my Nana into helping me work and try to figure out how to do a tarot wrap bag. You know, where it's like a pocket and then it straps around and you like tie it. And we made a giant one. I swear, it's like this big. And it's basically our pattern. And later today, I mean, I got homework to do tomorrow. Could do it tomorrow. I just don't want to do my homework early. I always do it late too because I'm bad. And it doesn't matter. I get B's and A's anyway. So, yes, maybe later we're gonna make them in actual good size. Cause after that was done, we then put the decks in. She's like, okay, we could take down this many inches, and then it'll fit perfectly. So we're gonna make some wrap bags maybe later or whatever. And that's why I haven't had my aunt embroider any, because some of the decks might move over to the new wrap ones. But yeah, I got a sewing machine for Christmas and it broke. I just got another new one. Like, this one costs like what, like $40 more. And oh, it's a nice one. Nana was like, this is a good sewing machine, so yeah, that's why I finished the bags one, because I had like 2 bags that weren't finished because the sewing machine broke last time. First time using it, bobbin already messed up. So, yeah, that's actually right out there on a chair. And then I got new fabrics because our Joanne Fabrics is just moving locations, like, across the way. So, like, they had a bunch of stuff on sale, including fabric. So we got some fabric for really cheap, and that's what I was using to make the wrap bags. Yeah, that was the update on day 21. And the next one, which I guess that's another reason why this one's going to be on its own video, is kind of an update on day 5. I mean, it's 2018, not 2017, that this card keeps coming up. But I mean, technically, this card's been stalking me all my life. Because, what the fuck? You know, like, literally, my Tumblr posts have literally been WTF. Which I always just read the whole thing out of what the fuck, because, so, I'm doing, sorry, the YouTube notification's bothering me on my computer, because it's just there. I have stuff by the mouse, so it's hard to move it. So I'm doing a tarot challenge on Tumblr this month as well. And we've been, like, calculating, like, all of our cards and stuff, and I swear I'm going to have to, like, pull out some more decks if this card keeps coming up, because, holy fuck. Which actually, one of the cards, it actually got me thinking about a reading from last year, so still 2017 there. But yeah, so for this challenge, during one of the days, we had to calculate our year card. You know, mine's Temperance this year. And then we had to calculate our personality card. So it's like, oh, I got the Hermit. That makes sense. Okay, so then calculate your soul card, which is like the number for a personality card put together. So of course mine's 9, so it's still the Hermit, 9. So it's like, okay, you know, I just got 2. And then it was, okay, like, towards the, yesterday, the day before that was the start of, like, 3 more cards. We also, you know, learned, like, what our significators would be, based on like our birthday or whatever, and like other stuff, because we were talking about that. There was also like what were all your birthday cards is, like Justice would be for Libra. For card for my Pacific days would be Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. I think the Four of Swords, and then obviously I'm a swords person. You know, so then the other day we were doing more of the cards, and this one is using one from, is it Mary Kay Greer? It's Greer, Mary Greer, and then there's like is it Kay? I don't remember. I don't have any books, so I just hear her name from others. And anyway, so it's using her system to find your cards that deal with your name. So the first one is to take all the letters of your name and add them all up to find your destiny card. So it's like, okay, you know, I'll add all my letters together, based on like the number system. And I mean, like, I have an accent over my second E in my name, and there's no accent E, but it's still technically an E, so I counted it as that. You know, and I added them together, you know, and then once you get that number, if it's bigger than 22, you add it together. It's like, yeah, I got 90. It was the Hermit again. And I'm like, okay, it's the Hermit again. My name's the Hermit, apparently. Okay. So the day after that was, okay, add the vowels of your name together, right? So I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm going to get the Hermit again if I got the Hermit for my name. 45. Hermit. Yesterday's card was the consonants. Well, 90 minus 45. It's 45. I got the Hermit again. My name's literally Hermit, Hermit, Hermit. My my soul and personality are also the Hermit. But, you know, so like this is like something that's just come in 2018, but technically those have always been the cards. So technically they've been stalking me my whole life. But I can at least bring back to the 2017 though, because last year in October, was it on my birthday? It might have actually been on my birthday. I was asked to do a past life reading on my dash, like if I could do them and stuff. So I ended up coming up with a spread for it. And then after, you know, doing it, I decided to give it to me, Mom, and my brother, right? So I did Mom's first, then I did Andy's, and then we did mine, and I started thinking about this reading again when the Hermit kept coming up, because I was like, wasn't the Hermit in that spread? Yeah, I had taken a picture of it, because, like, it's a past life reading. You know, I'm like, I'm going to take a picture of that, you know? Yeah, the card that came up for what I was like in my past life was also the Hermit. So there's your 2017 bit. So the Hermit was also my past life. So yeah, my day 5 has now been cards that have stalked me my whole life. And by a reading from last year, apparently it was my past life too. At least one of them. That's funny. But yeah, like, it's gonna get really annoying with the tag because we've already had to read with, like, the personality and soul cards, and then we had to do it again with a significator. And if we have to read with the name cards and those cards, I don't know what to do. The only thing I can think of is just pull out Hermits from a bunch of different decks. Because last time we did it, it's like, oh, if they're the same, pull out, like, a number one of the number of the minors that correspond to it. And the only minor that makes me think of the Hermit is really the 8 of Cups. So I used that one. I think it's the 8 of Cups. I'm not the best with names. I'm better at images. I mean, literally, you look at the images. So, yeah, it'd be 8 of Cups. So I used that one. But there's only one that makes me think of the Hermit. I can't, like, you know, it's like, what am I going to do? Just pull out a bunch of decks and just be like, okay, so, you know, here's Temperance, maybe my significator in there, and Hermit. I think that was 5 I just did. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah. So, I just thought I'd update on that day. Just because technically that counts, because it's been my whole life and also a reading from last year. But anyway, I guess this has been long enough, and I'm going to film the next days so that they're ready, since tomorrow I have schoolwork to do. I don't want to do it. I never want to do it. Especially now I'm in 2 classes I don't want to do. They're just for credits. They're just for the credits before I can get into my actual, like, degree stuff. But boy, am I going to love the classes after that. I get to take world mythology. Yes. Which is for my degree, and I'm really excited for that, because I always liked mythology growing up. I had an Egyptian phase. And then the Greek phase, I had a really big Greek phase, but then, you know, I have always liked Greek stuff, so Greek mythology. So. I mean, I got Athena right here on my altar, so. Anyway, that was update on 5, update on 21, and day 27 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And I'm Des from Aro-Tarot, and I'm logging off.